Welcome back, everybody, to the Valley Podcast. Sucky loss tonight. I tweeted this out earlier. You cannot win every game. Jordan's Bulls didn't win every game. You know, the Curry-led Warriors, they went 73-9. They didn't win every game. I'm not going to lose perspective of where this team used to be and where we are now, and I am not going to be upset over a loss like this to a team that was hitting every damn shot they took. It happens. Move on. Coach, I know you're upset. Please erase everything.
I'm good. It is what it is. They just didn't show up with the same amount of energy. Everything just looked a little off tonight. You know what I mean? We had weird turnovers. Guys were in the right place. The help defense was atrocious tonight. We were a step off. We got hyped up for the Portland game, and we do that against Western Conference foes and against Eastern Conference foes that are maybe not in the top four. We slack off, and we think that we should win. So we don't know the psyche that went into it. But, hey, I want to give a shout-out to Kiz. And, Kiz, we love you on the podcast. Don't think I'm going at you or anything, bro. It's just when you're a number one pick, you have certain expectations you need to live up to. You understand what I'm saying? You're the number one pick. A number one pick in any sport is supposed to be a franchise-altering pick, whereas you pick that player, and that player, him and him alone, is making it so you're not a number one pick again. That's the whole point of being the number one pick and the best player. So, of course, we hold him to higher standards than anybody else. We do. It is what it is. We're going to go off on that a little bit, but, you know, the one thing I did like about it is in the fourth quarter, they never gave up. You never saw that. They never, ever, ever gave up. They missed one or two threes. We make one more three, just one more shot even during the little run to cut it to 6. You get an extra bounce here, an extra miss or hustle play there. Like, things can happen. They didn't give up. It's not the end of the world, but the effort wasn't there. It was lacking. We got to talk about DA, and I know Salty's going to go off. So that's my piece for it for now, but we'll get into it.
Salty, where do you want to start, brother?
I understand everything about losses, you know. Like, come on, it's a long season. Even if it's a shortened NBA season, it's a long season. You can't win in every game. So I'm not upset about them losing to the Pacers. I think the Pacers were hyped, and it's their system, right? They're good at running and all this other stuff. They were on a back-to-back, which kind of annoys me, but we've beaten teams off plenty of back-to-backs. So it's not a question of, you know, it just, I saw it from the beginning. I tweeted about it. I said the energy was off. The pace of the game favored the Pacers. It was a run and gun type of game. That's not our game. We were not getting stops. The rotations were strange. Again, Frank Kaminsky was a ghost out there. Can't even tell he's out on the court when he's starting, and I don't understand why he continues to start, which is an issue, right?
Yeah.
What else did I see? So I'll talk about Ayton later because I don't want to roast. I don't just want to just get to the roasting right off the bat, but
we'll let people get in here before the roast begins.
Monty's rotations, like I said, are an issue still. They're not set down. I understand that Cam is out with health and safety protocols, so you kind of got to make up the difference. And it was a total team effort in the opposite way. You know, when you say it's a team effort when you win, then you say, hey, it's a team effort. This is a team L, because plenty of players had bad nights. Crowder had a bad night. Who else had bad? Just tons of players had bad nights. It wasn't there tonight. Booker had a bad night.
Chris Paul was 2 for 10, bro.
Yeah, Chris Paul was ass on offense, and he had some turnovers, and Booker's shooting percentage was off. I think he went
turnovers
to the line.
by Booker, 6, bro.
Book's turnovers came back. He didn't get to the line. I think. How many free throws did he have?
Twice.
So 2 free throws, below his average, not attacking the basket. Shooting percentage looks like Donovan Mitchell's every night, you know? So it just
Hey,
wasn't there tonight.
It wasn't there. Can we give a shout out to Karis LeVert though? Like going through what he did with the cancer stuff, getting it removed and playing.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
It was fun to see. It was actually fun to see what the Pacers would be built like when they made that trade and what they were supposed to. So I think the Pacers did a lot of things right. They played the full 48 minutes. They played hard. I hate getting killed by damn Dougie McDermott tonight, dude. It's something like that is what bugs me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you could handle it if Doug McDermott kills you at a 3-point line because that's what he does. When this dude's getting the rack like he's Jordan in his prime, that's an issue.
Yeah.
You know, that's how he got his points in the fourth quarter, and he scored like 60% of the Pacers' points in the fourth, and it's a defensive breakdown, is all you can say. You know?
Yeah, and missing Cam Johnson is highly underrated. Gabe, you're always the man behind everything here.
110.
Yeah, Gabe, you're the man that controls everything back here. So in the beginning, you're always tweeting and getting stuff ready to go. Give us your thoughts, my man.
Well, first of all, so Spurs fan Gary, our resident degenerate gambler, says Suns owe him 110 tonight. But, I bet Gary wouldn't even be upset tonight because he's won so much money off the Suns this year. It's not even funny. So, if you guys want to have any gambling advice, I'd go through Gary. The man's raking it in hand over fist. But anyways, my opinion of the game tonight, it's just this is going to happen. Like, let's say we were to play a lesser team in the playoffs. This is going to happen. One of those nights out of the in the 7-game series, the other team is going to have it. And the Pacers had it. They were pissed off about their loss last night. Who did they almost beat last night?
The Lakers.
That was the Lakers, right? And they gave it away. And they were ready. And I called this a trap game. I titled this a trap game. I think it was a trap game, man. We overlooked them. We overlooked them. We are at a certain level now, and we overlooked them. So it's all good. I mean, it's going to happen. Gary says they've been good to me. So, there you go. Charles says he was hoping to go undefeated in the playoffs. Listen, we just have to keep in perspective. Like if just imagine us last year, this time. So this would be pre-bubble. If I were to tell you 1 year from now, the Suns are going to be like 26-12 or whatever we are, you would say, I was on Breaking Bad meth. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind. I mean, this is it's a loss. Like, yeah, we're in a burner account here. Says we're in a 5-game win streak, much better than what we're used to. Absolutely. We never even used to crack 3-game win streak. So
facts.
It sucks, man. It's not fun to get beat like this, but I'm not scared of the Pacers if we had to go up against them in a playoff series. We won't have to, but we could beat them 6 out of 7 games, don't you think?
Do you think it's a matchup issue with the Pacers? Because remember in the beginning of the season, like we played them and we barely beat them. Or did we barely beat them? I can't remember. We pulled out that W and it was a different team.
125 to 117. That was also the game Mikal Bridges went off for 34 randomly. Mikal Bridges goes off for 30 again and with an extra 14 points. This is obviously a different game.
I'm trying to remember. Did Oladipo play in that game?
Yeah, he had like 20 or something like that. I'll look up the box score, but yeah, he had like 20 in that game, which kind of takes away from what Karis LeVert did to a point.
It's just, I think the Pacers kind of a matchup issue with the Suns, the way that they play and their style, because they're kind of a faster paced team, and the Suns like to slow it down. LeVert playing, I think that's awesome. He's back and he's doing his thing. I think the Pacers are a really good team. Their record does not say anything about who they are, because before they made that trade and they had all the injuries with LeVert, with like the cancer situation, they were one of the best teams. Like when we went into the Pacers and beat them, that was like a signature win for the Suns at that time. You remember that?
Yeah,
like for everybody,
absolutely.
everybody
they were
was,
a 4 or 3 seed.
Yeah, so I think when it's all said and done, the Pacers are going to be in the playoffs if they can stay healthy and LeVert can stay in there and stuff
They're
like that.
so
I think they're
sneaky
really good.
talented, dude. They're
The
stacked.
Sabonis is so good, dude. I love.
He is so much
They're-
better than Ayton. It hurts my
Yep.
eyelids.
Oh yeah.
He is
It ain't
like
close.
the epitome of a big man that just he could do everything, man. What can't that guy do? You know what I'm saying? Like that guy is his dad is Sabonis from back in the day, right? The
Yeah.
Arvidas.
Arvidas
Yeah.
Sabonis. You could just tell his dad, worked with him and stuff like that because it's just he's brimming with confidence when he gets the ball, and that's
He's got
why
so many tools.
that's why I'll talk shit about Aiden because. Oh man, I don't even know what to start with Ayton because
Can we start with him getting that pass about 12 feet from the rim, and he gets ready to take flight.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
he
He
gets
puts a
Against
power
Turner.
dribble, and I'm thinking, oh,
I was like, what's
He's
gonna
gonna- you're like-
happen?
right?
here's this Amari Stoudemire style dunk that's coming, right?
I'm thinking, here comes the first Amari style dunk of his career, and it's gonna be on Turner.
Jesus.
Then he gets sent back.
Huh?
No,
Just-
didn't even get sent back. He
His
just
whole-
like
He just
stopped
gets
in midair.
dicked.
Okay,
He got
so
scared, is what
he-
happened.
yeah.
he got mid-flight. He thought he was dragging Bender, and that he
Bro.
better cover up his body, and his whole body got rejected as if his whole body was the ball. He just
Yep.
sent him flying, and
It
the
was
ref was like,
bad.
you know what? I'm not calling a foul on that shit. You just
Fuck
got
no.
your whole body sent away, bro. Like, get out of here.
So
That is Ayton in a nutshell. So
And that-
anybody, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
well, that's the exact reason why we're mad because like people like Aiden's world jump into my combos because Kiz was tweeting about it, and I get it. You guys want to defend people based off of their stats, but there's a thing called the eye test, okay? Because if you play basketball or you've coached it, there's certain stat stuffers out there. They get their numbers, but if you asked a coach if you want them on their team, they're going to say no because they don't pass the eye test. If you've ever heard that, Coach B, right?
Yeah.
Coach Evan B. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
He doesn't pass the eye test, but you look at his fucking stats, he's filling it up every night. And it's like, well, I'll go with the guy that passes the eye test for me, I'll go with the guy that I can go off my gut and know that he's just he's doing it. So yeah, did Ayton fill up the stats tonight? I mean, not like a world beater, but you know what the number one teller sign for me is? The dude hasn't played a fourth quarter in an entire month of March. I know it's only 4 games, but if this guy is so important to your team, why the fuck isn't he playing in the fourth
Salt,
quarters?
That's where I wanted to go with this, Salt and Coach and chat. Is something going on bigger than these are just chess moves by Monty in the fourth quarter? He's this entire month, you can see that he's in the doghouse with Monty. It's like, I'm gonna play you, but if you're not giving me what I need to see, I'm just gonna put Saric in because I can actually trust him. I have a clip that I want to play for you guys. We'll probably play it later. It's a little surprise. You guys don't even know it's coming. I'm gonna play a clip for you guys, and part of it is somebody in the media saying the Suns might need to seriously put it out there that, hey, Ayton is available.
Do it.
What could you give us for him? What do you guys think about that? And in the chat, let us know.
Well, did you see that Bleacher Report article about like the Suns needing a big man and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like they need to go after one.
But I felt like they were phrasing it as a backup big man or a second big.
I don't know, man. I think
they were.
I think that because we talked to the dudes over there on the Portland podcast. Sorry, their names. I didn't memorize their names, but we asked them straight up, "Hey, what do you think of DeAndre Ayton?"
I don't know a lot about him. I don't see anything about him.
It's like people just don't give a fuck about this dude, and like outside the Suns fandom that are holding on to the fact that he got drafted number 1, no one cares.
I mean, Charles is here saying Ayton is a future All-Star, and we all know it. Do we?
No.
Do
So how
We
do
don't
you
know what he's going to do
it?
next game.
So how
No.
how did DeAndre Ayton get his points tonight?
Lobs.
There all right. So
Putbacks.
it was putbacks mainly.
Putbacks and lobs, and he had one turnaround.
He had that one good dribble move where he went behind his back and then went up for it. But it's like with every good move, he has about like 4 or 5 moves that makes you want to pull your fucking hair out, dude.
So can
You know
I
what
just
I'm saying?
say? Can I just say? So Burner, he's saying DA is streaky right now. I don't know what he would fetch. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what Spurs fan Gary and I were talking about on the phone yesterday. He was telling me straight up, like, look, dude, and this is somebody who bets on the Suns. He watches every Suns game. He knows what's going on, and he's not tied to the draft pick the way we are. And what he's saying to me is you guys have to just accept Ayton for who he is and stop expecting, because basically he has a bad game and it's like, oh my God, this dude's a bum, get him off the team. And then he has a good game and it's like, oh my gosh, maybe he's going to become what we thought. Maybe he is going to reach his potential. This is him. So that's a question I wanted to ask the chat also. And I wanted to ask you two. Is there still time for Ayton to reach the potential we saw, or are we seeing him at his ceiling already? Or is there time or not?
No, he's 22. He can absolutely come back. There's no reason to think why he couldn't, right?
He can improve, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Okay, so let me just go with that. That's the answer I was expecting you to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Spurs fan Gary's point in that is, there is going to be and what I'm saying to you, Burner, you're saying, what would he fetch? There are going to be GMs and coaches who are arrogant enough and sure of themselves enough, then they'll say, if I had DeAndre Ayton, I could teach this dude to do what I want him to do.
Right.
There is going to be someone out there with that attitude. So, I mean, I'm just at the point where I think we're seeing Ayton's
ceiling?
I don't want to believe it. But I think his ceiling is still like he's good and bad and good and bad.
Yeah, look, we gotta look at what the players are doing on the court with him. There was 3 or 4 times within the first half where they were looking to Ayton like, dude, where were you?
Yep.
In help defense, and it wasn't there. You got to look at those things and not so much what he's doing when he gets the ball or whatever. I'm looking the reaction of everything. And then he was out of position. Then the very next time down the court, he got an offensive rebound for a putback slam. Okay. When he went back to the bench after that, his head was down and he gave high fives like this. It's just like, yeah. Those things are so important in the type of person that you want to go to battle with in basketball and in the playoffs. Those types of things. You know what I mean? It's not like he came back with a fierce attitude and said, no, I'm going to show you guys and I'm going to have a bitchin' game. He did one good play. Then he goes, those are the types of things we got to look at, man. He's 22. We don't know what kind of work ethic he has, and only they know. So if they move on from him, it'll be because of the work ethic and things of that nature. Does that make sense?
It does.
I have a sneaky suspicion that James Jones is just he's gonna unload this guy when the right deal comes along, dude.
It wasn't his pick, bro. It wasn't his pick.
Nope.
He wants to build his own roster too.
That's a great point. Can I take this from Burner account? So he's saying it would be such a Suns move to trade DA, and he gets better another team. So listen, we have Chris Paul and we have a 2-year window. Does anyone think that we have more than 2 years? I could see 3 at the tippy top. Okay, so this is a situation in which we need to act now. We went and got a franchise quarterback. He has a couple of great years left. We can't waste this time if we want a championship. We're not even usually in the headspace of thinking about championships.
Right.
Do you say, I believe in CP3, Book, and everyone else, and if I can, it's time to make a splashy move, something that's risky but high reward for a title in the next 2 years. Y'all think I'm joking? We could be the Raptors in the next 3 years, grabbing our first title. It's there for the taking. LeBron is becoming an old man.
Well, you got the debts to deal with and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. So that's what that was. We're not going to get off on the football topic, but that's what I was saying with the Cardinals making a move for J.J. Watt. It proves that they're taking a risk. They're going for it. They're not holding, pat on what resting on their laurels per se or whatever. So what you're saying is true. So DeAndre Ayton could, get better with time, and he probably will. But will he be good enough for you to win a title next year, or whatever your window is? Because that's what your window is. Then you got to figure out after Chris Paul leaves, who's going to be your point guard after that point, and is Devin Booker going to want to stick around? Is with the players that you have right now, you have to pay people. Who's going to it's not all cut and dry.
I feel you, and I just want to bring along the point that in 3 years, 2 years, whenever Chris Paul is done, that money comes off the books, and we don't know who's going to be a free agent then. We don't know if we have success, Western Conference Finals or something for 2 or 3 straight years, and Chris Paul retires, comes off the books. We don't know what stars are going to want to come play with Book at that time, right? Book's going to be 26, 27. We don't know. Like, we could be in prime position with salary cap to sign whoever the hell we want. But we need to look in the now. And this is a pure example. Nate or Salty, you and I talked about this. This is a pure example of why you don't want to be a fourth quarter team, man. Fourth quarter teams are it's a dangerous game that you're playing. You've got to play the full 48 minutes, which is exactly what the Pacers did tonight. I can't give them enough credit, and I can't understate having Cam Johnson out.
Shout out
the fourth quarter.
Shout out the chat. Shout out the chat too, Coach.
The chat.
You got some goats in here.
Who's the goats in there?
You got Blazers Uprising here.
Oh, here we go. No. We've got the Geek. GOAT Suns Geek in the house right here. I'm going on a rant, and Suns
the GOAT
Geek
of Suns Twitter. Right
what
there.
is going on?
How do you feel knowing
YouTube.
that? How do you feel, Coach, knowing that Suns Geek is watching you rant right now?
My heartbeat is up right now. My pulse is going. I'm getting the sweats. I'm gonna need another drink
I got
here.
A boner.
Vodka, Red Bull.
So Suns Geek, thank you for bringing this up. This is a great segue. Almost at 100 subscribers. We're at 97. Listen, if for some reason you're in the chat and you haven't subscribed, what's going on here? Take the time, slap the button. Whoever gets 100, whoever's the 100th subscriber, we've got a giveaway. Okay. Guys didn't know about this. No, we do have a giveaway. This is a big giveaway. So if you take a picture, you're the 100th subscriber. Take a picture so we have proof, and you are going to be rewarded with one lap dance from Salty.
Yeah, so, I am unsubscribing right now.
He will
keep refreshing.
He'll be clapping cheeks.
Clapping cheeks.
Okay. So
you got in a really.
Shit.
You don't have a choice, Salty. Mute him, please. He doesn't have a choice. So, and Blazers Uprise is in here bringing something up that I brought up like the 4th game of the season or something. But we got to get back to this is our championship year and championship run in the next 2 or 3 years, right? So we got to pretend like this is it. Like this is what it's going to be. And you have to make a move to be a champion. You have to make the Kawhi Leonard deal. You have to make the Rasheed Wallace deal that the Pistons did way back in the day if you want to get to that level. Vucevic.
Oh my god, dude! I told Sasha Vujacic.
Sasha. Okay, everyone in the chat.
He is the one.
We only refer to Nikola Vucevic now as Sasha Vucevic because on the Blazers Uprise, Coach said Sasha. And
Sasha will be all the difference. He will bring us a championship.
Sasha will do it. But I have been on the Nikola Vuce train the whole time.
Bro, you can't go a podcast without talking about this dude. I swear to God, man.
But yo, I like this. Iverson says Cat. We can't forget about Cat.
We don't know what next year's going to bring.
Trading DA for Cat. I'm done.
Cat's my boy.
We don't have the money.
I'll trade you.
We can't do it with the money.
I'll trade you.
I'll trade myself if it meant a Suns championship.
Who could we trade that would match up money-wise? Let's get it done.
No one.
bro.
What do you mean
No
one?
one. No one.
say
We've
no
looked at the
one.
numbers. He's making 30
How much is he
mil.
making?
He's
Cooking
making
books.
30 mil. Crowder and Saric are both making
Bye,
like
Crowder.
9.2.
Bye. Thanks. It was fun. I love the
Yeah.
99. You're out.
But that
And
would be
then
so
who?
fucked up though, dude.
Aiton's making 90, and you made the point, Salty. We were all in agreement that you can't trade Crowder because we finally got a good free agent to sign here.
Free agents would never come here if you did that, dude. Because he
You
picked
can't-
us over other teams and shit, dude.
Yeah, dude.
See, I don't know about that. I don't know because another team.
I would trade anybody but Book and Chris
And
Paul
CP3.
for Cat. I'll trade.
God
I'll
dang,
give
I
you.
wouldn't-
So
Would
do
you trade
think,
McHale?
Hey,
I
do you
don't
think
want
that
to.
the Brooklyn Nets and were thinking about salary or this and that when they traded almost their whole team? You know what I'm saying? Or anybody else that makes deals like the Lakers when they traded their whole fucking team for AD? No, they're like, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this superstar, and then we'll fill in the gaps later. We'll make it work later. We're not thinking of. It's just like if you have to trade your whole goddamn team to make it work, do it then. Fill up your roster with G Leaguers. I don't give a shit, man.
The
Like,
Valley trade the whole goddamn team podcast. That's where we're at after a loss tonight. Wow.
Well, no. It's just this was a game that we needed buckets sorely, and we could have gotten some easy ones. And I feel like having a good post player would do that. Now, there isn't a lot of good post players to begin with in the NBA, right? Like Gobert's not going to do that, and he's considered one of the better ones, right? So you've got the Joker, you've got Embiid. Vucevic can do some things. I mean, he was an all-star this year, averaging 25 to 30. And then you got Cat, right? Those are your prototypical scoring big men.
Okay,
That's who you got to work with.
I want to take this. What's going on, Alvaro? So he says Cat fills the stat sheets, but it never translates to wins. I would say that's because he's in Galdang, Minnesota, bro.
That's what they said about Devin Booker, and then what happened?
Like, okay, so imagine how we were like, man, can you believe what Chris Paul is about to do with Ayton? He's about to take Ayton to the next. Hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, he's regressed. Okay, so I really would like to see Chris Paul, what he can do with Cat, because I've seen what translates with Ayton, and it's nada.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Y'all, Blazers Uprise was just like, so you're saying you need Enes Kanter. Fact.
Man.
We'll trade our whole team for Enes Kanter, baby. Let's go.
I mean, obviously, I don't think you guys would trade Ayton straight up for Kanter, obviously, right? I mean, that's
I think a lot of this goes back to the fact that DeAndre Ayton is not James Jones's guy. He was not his draft pick, and James Jones is the GM. He used to be an athlete. He's got a competitive spirit at him, and the way I coach and pick teams, I'm sure is very similar to ways maybe an ex-player would pick for GMs or maybe go out on recruiting. You want your guys.
Yeah.
You see it when new GMs come into baseball all the time.
Except
you want
for
your
when
own
you're
manager.
coming onto a team and you've got a 7-foot first-round pick who supposedly has all the tools. You don't want to get rid of that guy, but if
you don't want to get rid of him last
year
in his second year. You don't want to do it, but you've seen enough to know by this point, right? And he tried to trade him in the offseason.
The thing is like the fact of the matter is contracts are going to come up. We drafted DA and Bridges in the same year, and people have put these polls up. Who put it up? Did the GOAT of YouTube put it up? Did Suns Geek put it up? Bridges, and they put a poll up like who would be a priority with extensions. And I respond without even thinking about it, and it's Bridges. I don't think he's a max player or anything.
I think it was Geek.
Yeah, so it's going to come up, man, and I guarantee you, dude, DA is going to think he's a max player because he's a big man and all this other shit. Like, he's going to demand that shit. And you're going to have multiple contracts coming up, and then the years after that, then you have Cam Johnson coming up. So it's not as cut and dry as you guys think it is,
No,
so you gotta look forward to what's happening.
Shervin's sitting here saying, would you guys consider him a bust? Ayton, he's saying,
no, he's not.
He says you guys really don't like Ayton.
I don't think he's a bust. I don't think he's
He's not a
that
bust.
dude. He's
No
not that dude.
The three of us
Nah.
are not. None of us are saying he's not a bust. But when you get taken with the first overall draft pick, there are certain things tied to that. Namely, you need to be the best player in your draft class. That is not happening. That is far gone. Okay, I would honestly rather easily have Ice Tray. Let's not even talk about Luka. So that's a fail. But now it was like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. But can you be like a top level big? Can you be like can you get us like, I don't know, like,
Dude,
20,
I would take
20
Miles
and
Turner
10?
over DeAndre Ayton. What are we
Bro,
talking
he
about?
got outplayed by Miles Turner and Sabonis, both lower draft picks than him. So that's where the animosity comes in.
He
and
got
that's where
out
we're
hustled
upset.
by Cantor against Portland, you guys, too. How many times did that happen? And then he didn't even play when we made a run against Portland, and he didn't play tonight in the fourth quarter. We're using a number 1 draft pick on a player that can't play in the fourth quarter or can't be depended on by the coach in the fourth quarter? What are you talking about? Trade him.
Can anybody tell me that is a defender of DeAndre Ayton? When's the last time they saw a critical piece on a team not play like 4 games in a row in the fourth quarter?
The fourth quarter comes around, the most important quarter of the game, and he's on the bench.
I really got to know. I really
not
got to
injured.
know. Because that doesn't happen because he's a big man, a cog in our defense, right? We talked about it. He's important to our defense or any of that other shit. So why is he not there? Why does the coach feel the need to not have him in there? I don't understand.
No.
Like, please tell me.
Iverson.
What's
Iverson.
up?
Iverson says he would take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over Ayton at this point. So would I. He's in
like
that
a future
draft.
all-star. He's a future all-star, right? Hey, I really got to get my story straight. Did James Jones want to draft SGA or did he want to draft Bridges? One or the other happened, and then it flip-flopped.
Oh, I thought it was the Texas Tech dude he wanted to draft.
No, it was SGA.
No, we traded Zaire for Mikhail.
So Shervin says, what's his main problem? Being aggressive? Yeah, being aggressive.
Confident.
But it's not just like he's kind of not aggressive. It's like he plays like Dragon Bender. He's like, right? Like he gets the ball.
He's existing on the court until the ball comes to him in a situation where he could just throw it in and not have to think about it. Because like when he gets the ball in the post, he's like, ugh. I did that infomercial where that guy's fumbling his shit everywhere. That's exactly what happens because DA starts thinking about doing a post move. Like he was backing up Sabonis. Sabonis was not moving, and then he threw the ball like a shitty sky hook or some shit that I've seen. I would
bad.
see that in the YMCA or something, you know. Like
Burner says, we're in a.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Burner saying we're in a 5-game win streak and everyone's losing their minds. Yeah, but during this 5-game win streak, we've been on Ayton's ass the entire time. Even in those wins, we've taken the time to call him out because, okay, so Shervin, you're going to get an opportunity, hopefully on ESPN, to watch the highlights of this game. Please watch the part where it looks like DA is about to detonate like Amari Stoudemire. Yep. It looks like he's about to explode for the biggest dunk of his career. Mid-flight, he decides, oh, wait, I don't have any testosterone. I better turn and go in the fetal position, even though I'm holding the goddamn ball. And his whole body gets
like
blocked.
Jordan, like behind his crap.
It's true, man. It was like he realized he was a beta male at that point and just fetal positioned his shit like he was gonna get rocked.
Hold up,
his whole life depended on it, dude.
I love you, Charles. You are a day one fan of the Valley podcast, but I gotta give you a little grief right now, my man. You said you would sign DeAndre Ayton to a max contract.
No fucking way.
If we sign DeAndre Ayton to a max
I'll stop being a fucking fan, dude. I swear to God.
That would be the worst move for the Phoenix Suns franchise. Are you talking about a dude that averages 14 and 12 getting max money, and then we can't sign anybody else?
That'd be a Hakeem Warwick, Josh Childress type move
No,
right
what
there,
was
dude.
what was the damn pitcher that the Diamondbacks signed like way back in
Oh,
the
dude, Benitez. Was it Benitez
No,
or
no,
no?
no, 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 no. It was not Lopez. It was a Hispanic picture.
Yeah, I know who you're
Not
talking about.
Rodriguez. I'm drawing a blank, but dude was getting paid like $30 million or something stupid, and we couldn't do anything for the next 2 years. The problem with DA is that we have to make a decision on him by the end of next season. We're a season and a half away from finding out what we need to do with DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges, and that's when CP3 is probably going to do some restructuring too. We're really close to that threshold. So what are we talking about here?
Well, you should poll the chat. I mean, what do they think? I mean, the DeAndre Ayton stands, like, do you think he should get that contract? Because it's going to be in that realm. I mean, would you pay him the max to keep him around?
Are you really going to pay? Would you pay him as much as Saric or less?
Shit, how much is Saric getting paid?
9.2.
I would pay him around
3 years. You're talking about 3 for 27.
I would pay him around that, but he ain't getting that. He's gonna
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna demand a max. I guarantee you, dude. His agent.
I would pay him 4 over 48. That's like the max I would do.
Yeah, but he's getting. How much is he getting paid as a first pick? He's getting paid a good amount of money.
I thought he was getting paid like 12, which would be about what he would get now.
Coach, read this comment.
14 and 12 in only 29 minutes. Stupid analysis. He's not playing the fourth quarter. He's not good enough to play. He's not trusted to play. Whatever it is, he's not playing in the fourth quarter. In 29 minutes, Nerlens Noel can go out there plus add 5 blocks and hustle every damn play.
I really got to ask these nerds in the chat, dude.
All right? You, Charles.
I got to ask.
We love you, Charles.
I got to ask them, all right? You guys want the salt? I'll give it to you, all right? Have you ever picked up a basketball in your life? Have you played competitively? Have you played on an actual team? Have you coached a basketball game? If you say no to any of those questions, then I swear to God, your opinion is invalid in this situation, because there's more to stats. All right, there's the plus minus, which a lot of people don't want to live by, but there's the eye test, bro. You cannot look at this guy play basketball and say he passes the eye test. He does not, dude. I don't know what I said that. It's just, I don't give a fuck what his stats say. I watched the game. I know what the fuck I saw, dude. You know. So I know what I see when I see Sabonis play, you know, the top tier centers in the league that you can just go to, like the Joker. Have you seen him play? And I get it. It takes time for big bands to develop and shit. But I've seen so much regression in DA's post game. It's ridiculous, man. Like, I would take rookie DA in a heartbeat over this DA when it comes to post play, because this guy doesn't even know what his left from his right, bro. He does not know what's going on in the post, and it's just, I can't say enough. That's why it annoys me to hear the responses, the retorts from these dudes that haven't played basketball in their life or coached in their life.
EJ said it tonight. He finally said it. I think it's his second time. I think he said it in the Warriors game right before the break, but it's the second time he said it. I've been saying this all damn season about DeAndre Ayton. He does not catch the ball where he needs to. He does not put himself in position to catch it and give himself a better opportunity. He does not do that. No, we ain't going to bully Charles. We love Charles. Like, we're going to get on each other. Y'all get on me. We're going to get on Salty for a bad take, and we get on Gabe over there all the damn time for that. So if you have a bad take, we're going to call you out, but that doesn't mean we love you any less. But what Blazers Uprising said, it comes down to this. You either trade him or you pay him the max after next year.
It's true. Those are the options. Because Gambo and Burns, they talked about this. They said, I think it was Gambo who has inside knowledge. He said Ayton is he's gonna request the max. It's not gonna be any options below that. So you're either gonna pay him the max or you're gonna go a different way. That's just, it's what's gonna happen. So if you think he's a max player, then you'll keep him. If you don't, then you'll move on.
Did you guys watch the halftime report? Geek is saying that Skylar Diggins called him out. Did you guys watch halftime?
Yeah,
I didn't watch
Did
it.
she?
I was cleaning up and doing things with my
Bro, I
son,
want to
putting him
hear
to bed and
that.
whatnot. Yeah,
I
what
want to
happened with
hear that
Skylar?
shit.
Well, if anybody can find that, send it to us. We'll pull it up.
I love,
Yeah, that-
man. She's hot as fuck.
Gabe
by the way.
Martinez said he would put the clamps on Salty on the court. First of all right, listen. Bottom line, I will wreck anyone in this chat room in basketball in real life. Please try me. Someone find me in Austin. I will go.
Find him on
within-
Grinder. Find
I
him
will
on
go-
Grinder. He'll ball you
I got
up.
a big following on Grindr. I will find you within a 50-mile radius, and I will not only clamp you, but I will give you buckets from everywhere on the court. Moving along, I want to say, I want to read this Blazers Uprise comment.
Mhm.
He says, if you're going to trade him, you might as well maximize your title chances this year instead of waiting till next year to make a move. Good effing point.
Yep.
Because you only have at most 3 years with CP3. That's a great point, man. Do we
We've been
move
saying
him
that.
or do we get someone like Aldridge, like Spurs fan Gary is saying Aldridge,
I would like
who
Aldridge.
would be a good pick to play with him?
I would. Hey, so you take Frank Kaminsky's bum ass and you take him out of the starting lineup where he doesn't belong, and you put Aldridge in there. You're going Twin Towers anyway, so fucking do it that way, dude. Like, why not? I think it would be a perfect fit for Aldridge, bro. Plus, they made a push for him. You remember that offseason where he actually chose the Spurs over us? We had a billboard for him and shit. Like, remember that?
Yeah.
So I think Aldridge would be that dude. Honestly, I think he would be the perfect fit.
I'm not
for me.
sold. I'm not against it, but honestly, I think I'm going to speak for everybody here when I say at this point I trust James Jones, and if he doesn't sign here,
I was going to
he's there for
say
a
the
reason.
same thing.
That's what I'm speaking for us, man.
It's such a weird position to have a GM that you just trust, and you're like, look, cool thing is he's going to make the right decision because it seems to be that that's what he does. So,
and I want to go to Michael Logan in the Facebook chat. He said we shouldn't have to be second guessing DA this much anymore. Like at this point, towards the end of the third year, you're right, man. We really shouldn't be, and we're questioning his motor, we're questioning his hustle and his work ethic. We shouldn't be questioning those things. If you are questioning those things, then we need to trade him. And you know what? And if he does better somewhere else, maybe this experience taught him better. And he couldn't have been that person or that player without being traded. Like, that just happens. Suns have been on the back end of that all the time. Look at Boris Diaw, man. Like, it just happens. And it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But if we trade DA, we need to make sure that we get equity in return. Championship equity.
You know what I like? What I'm hearing about Aldridge? I'm hearing from my Spurs friends, and I'm hearing from our new, much welcomed Portland Trailblazer friends that we should be going after Aldridge. Like what? So my boy Gary was talking to me about it, and he's like, dude, why would I tell you guys to go after Aldridge? Like how would it benefit the Spurs fans to tell, like, it doesn't benefit him at all to be telling it. He's like, I'm serious. DA still has game, and he would fit with DA. He'll stretch the floor for DA and give DA a little bit more room to work down low. And he's like a much better, I'm not even going to say he's anything like Frank Kaminsky. He would be what Frank Kaminsky dreams about being, even at his advanced age.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got Shervin, Portland fan here saying he'd be worth it. We got Spurs fans saying, yeah, man, you should probably grab him. He'd help you guys out. I like that. They're not talking crap on him.
No, I've been on the Aldridge train ever since I heard about that buyout. So he's good at threes, right? Isn't he a good stretch?
He's a good three. He's a stretch. He can hit from anywhere outside, deep twos, threes.
He has confidence. Like, how much does he want to win too? Like, I think that really comes into play because that's our argument with Ayton all the time. So how much does he want to push and play and get a ship and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. So
who's the center that we signed to pick him up? What's his name?
Tyson Chandler.
Tyson Chandler. Let's go get him. We'll put a billboard up.
And then let's give Tyson Chandler the bank again so that we can try to give the bank to Aldridge. Jeez, dude. Don't even bring that up.
It's funny.
We're negative $7 million over the tax line. We have negative 16.3 in the cap room, according to the NBA trade machine. Like, we had nobody to trade for Cat. If we traded Ayton, Crowder, and Saric, we could acquire that.
Right.
That's what
you're like, right.
No, I'm not the one to be understanding the cap. I just say it's not my money, so I want it done. You know?
Yeah, if it isn't my money, I really don't care.
Blazers Uprise says he'd be a good fit. I just really think he ends up back in Portland if he's bought out. Brian Scalabrine is saying don't trade for him. Try and get him on the buyout market. You know James Jones is smart enough to try to do that. Yeah.
I prefer. He's getting paid $24 million this year. There's no way we can make that happen.
There's no way.
But I definitely like him over Drummond because Drummond can't leave the paint. He breaks out in hives if he leaves the paint. He can't do anything outside the paint. How the hell is that going to help Ayton? At that point, it'd be like trade Drummond for Ayton, which, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Even though I'm willing to trade him for somebody.
But can we talk about how this is what we're talking about as we're talking about championships?
Booker played like crap tonight. It's not all Ayton's fault. Booker played like crap. Chris Paul played like crap. I do feel like we're putting all of this on Ayton, but it really shines through when you get your whole body blocked like your body's a basketball, and then B, right, and then B, when it's the fourth time in a row that you don't get to play in the fourth quarter because the coach doesn't trust you, and he's probably right.
He knows more than we know. He knows more about basketball on that team than anybody in this chat knows, and anybody on Suns Twitter.
Has Monty said anything about not playing him in the Force at all?
I don't know if anybody's asked him.
Like, why doesn't the media ask him that shit, dude? Like, come on.
So to play off that, to play devil's advocate, first off, Frank Kaminsky, 0 for 1, 2 points from the free throw line, 13 minutes, didn't do anything. Mikal Bridges was 6 for 12, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line, 2 assists, no rebounds, did have 14 points, okay. Chris Paul, 2 for 10, 2 turnovers, still had 10 assists. Booker, 9 for 20, 1 for 6 from 3, 6 turnovers. Crowder, 1 for 8 field goal, 0 for 3 from 3. Excuse me. Saric had 17 and 5. I thought he played the best out of anybody tonight. Nader looked horrible in the second quarter, and that second unit to start the second quarter set the energy for the rest of the game. That second unit in the second quarter lost us that game. 13-0 run to go up 4 to down, whatever that math adds up to. That was awful, but Nader did some things and got us back to a point, so 14 points for him. I'd say he played the second best or second hardest, potentially, arguably. Cam Payne was good here, good there. He looked healthy, but everything was just out of sync. Javon Carter randomly came in the fourth quarter too, after not playing for who knows how long.
Yeah, he was like, we need to get some stops. Hey, Javon, still feel like playing? Like, come on, man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. He should be playing anyway. He should be getting a little bit of time. Nader,
one more was terrible too. He hit those 2 threes. That was it. Though.
I get that I've fallen in love with Nader like everybody else, but I mean, does he need to play 40 minutes a game? Does he need to play 40 minutes?
He's playing a lot.
A little
he played 26
much
tonight.
Like,
no, 20. He played 21. I'm good with him playing 16 to 20, but like he was one of the only dudes that was showing any type of damn hustle too. I think he was just played because of that. That was just a fly by the seat of your pants type of thing. Like, okay, you're playing hard, play him. He played better than Bridges tonight. They scored the same amount of points.
Galloway he can't sniff.
Galloway can't see it. No, it just is what it is. It was one of those games, man. We shot 47% and shot 38.7 from 3. It just we got Memphis up on Monday after a loss, and then we got 2 games against the Timberwolves and then the Lakers, right? And I'm tired of preaching this. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to do this in the playoffs and this and that. Well, we just lost to the Pacers, man. The only thing that matters is beating Memphis on Monday. Am I wrong, Salt?
It's always the way, man. But Memphis plays us tough. I think
They always do.
They're a tough team. So that because they almost beat who'd they almost beat? Denver. Denver just got slapped by who was it, the Mavs. So I don't know. It is what it is, man. You know?
We're still number 2 in the West. We're still we're 25-12. I'm not losing sleep over this.
How long's Cam been out so far with health and safety? Like how many days?
That was last. So it was the Wednesday before we play on the All-Star break. So it was last Wednesday, and this is Saturday. So he had to have gotten COVID and is coming back. He had to have gotten it. So
because Sticks got it and was out like a month.
So did Dario, man. And then he got injured when he came back, but initially it took him a while to come back. So he had to have gotten it, but maybe he was asymptomatic. Mm-hmm. We don't know. Injury report usually comes out tomorrow in the latter part of the afternoon. So we'll find out then.
So I've got a video I want to play for you guys. Let's shout out the chat.
Put the kids away.
Do you guys mind shouting out the chat here while I
don't have it up, so
I absolutely will. This has been a really fun podcast, even though that we lost and we're bagging on DA, and we still think DA can come back and do great things. Like ask any one of us, we're gonna root for him any day of the week. It's just a consistent theme. But shout out the GOAT Suns Geek first and foremost, right? And then we got to shout out Blazers Uprise. You guys go check out their podcast too. We'll shout them out and we'll tweet about them as well too, so you can find them there. But they're on YouTube. A lot of fun, good conversations with them. Really impressed with what they're doing up there in Portland. Shout out Alvaro, Gabe Martinez. We love you, Charles. We love you. Don't get it wrong. And it is what it is. Shout out Burner Account, Shervin coming over, Brian Scalabrini, Roy. I mean, you guys have made it a lot of fun tonight. And if I'm missing you on there, we'll shout you out before the night ends. No worries about that. So what's this video you're going to show?
So I don't know if you guys are
like
me.
By the way, hold on.
Go ahead. I don't know if you guys are like me. I know Suns Geek is probably like this because he's the man making all these Suns videos. But I'm desperate for Suns content. That's probably the biggest reason why I wanted to start this podcast in the first place. I just felt like we were super underrepresented, and I love watching about the Suns. I mean, I will watch anything, even if I think there's a possibility they're going to talk about the Suns. Are you like that, Salt? I mean, I feel you send me a lot of Sun stuff, right? It's just, I don't know. It's just you get a little kick like you're a little kid about it, man. So I'm flipping through videos today, and I see this video from First Things First. And the question was posed to the guys on their panel. Do the Lakers, so they're talking about LeBron and how LeBron said that they have enough pieces on their team to win the title. And the question was, do you guys think as is the Lakers can go ahead and win the title? And I watched this video just because I thought maybe they'll talk about the Suns. Maybe the Suns will get mentioned. I'm just curious to know if the Suns are going to get mentioned. Oh, did they get mentioned? Salt, did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Burner Account says, I stare at the sky just to watch the sun. Exactly. Okay. So here's this video.
The question.
Let's watch this together. And Salty, if you want me to pause because you have an interjection, let's react to this and break it down, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pull this off of here. Okay.
Listen, you don't want to talk about the Clippers? I will talk about the Clippers. Forget the Nets. You got to earn that. You got to make your way to the title game for us to have that conversation. They don't have enough to beat the Suns. They don't have enough to beat the Clippers.
Oh,
you got You got Gasol, who's underwhelming. He's averaging, what, 5 points, less than 5 points? You got Markieff, who was a big part of your success last year, and he's averaging 5 points. AD, that is the X factor. So you can talk about the three-point and how terrible they are at the three right now. We can talk about rim protection, but the biggest X factor is AD. We keep saying, what if, what if, what if? This dude is dealing with a calf and an Achilles, and now he got to come back. He got to get into mid-season form. He has to get his feel back while knowing that he was playing underwhelming and terrible in the first half of the season. So this is a big what if. Nick, they won't get out the West because you got to go through the Suns and you have to go through the Clippers. I'm sorry. But
no jazz talk. No jazz.
They will be at the fifth spot.
Look at this bitch laughing. Bro, I was at work.
Everybody but him laughing. Come on,
bro.
The Suns.
I am sorry. So it keeps going. First of all, I just want to point out I love Brandon Marshall. Is that
Brandon Marshall? Yeah.
It's Brandon Marshall. Thank you, Brandon Marshall. We will add you to the list with Kendrick Perkins.
Yep.
Who's actually showing the Suns love. Now, are you guys ready for the retort?
Yeah.
Or do you want to react?
No. Go for it. Go for it. I want to hear it. Go.
It's just typical. All you got to say is that's just typical reactions from the media, dude.
They don't watch.
No.
Okay, here we go.
Stop with the Suns.
We'll give you the Clippers. Stop with the Suns.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Didn't we just beat the brakes off of the Lakers? Haven't we beaten the brakes off of every top team in this league?
Without AD though, that's what they're gonna say. That's the narrative.
Fine. Let's leave the Lakers out of it. First of all, I'm sorry, but isn't LeBron supposed to be good enough to beat the Suns all by himself? That shit didn't even come close to happening. Okay, we had the Nets, the only team close to as hot as us. We were beating the shit out of them until we accidentally let them get back in it. And I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe that game. If we had beaten them Nets in that game, do you think they'd be talking like this? Probably still. I'm sorry, man. I get totally.
No. I tweeted this out yesterday. I think you guys liked and retweeted it, or somebody else too. Just make ESPN the national big market sports network. You know what I mean? All they do is they suck off Los Angeles, Houston, Oakland, New York, Chicago, Miami, and I'm probably leaving somebody out. That's all they do. They just bring up these big markets, and anytime they want to talk about us, what do they talk about? Are the Lakers going to trade for Devin Booker? Are the Knicks going to trade for Devin Booker?
Shervin,
that's all
exactly.
They talk about.
The Valley podcast. Remember when Stephen A. Smith said the Lakers should trade Kuzma and a pick for Devin Booker? Yeah, that we have to deal with that all the time.
And for all our loyal Blazers fans out there, when Brandon Roy was a thing, one of my favorite players, I wish we can get into that later. But when Brandon Roy was a thing, were you guys receiving all these things like we get with Booker all the time? Will Brandon Roy force his way out to Dallas or to Miami or something like that? Were you guys getting that too? This is ridiculous. They obviously don't
Shervin
watch
says same
basketball,
deal
bro.
with Dame. They get it with Dame. It would not surprise me.
Okay, facts.
I do see
I
that
believe
too.
that.
Yeah.
Do you get it with McCollum too? I'm curious.
What they get is, well, McCollum and Dame just can't win together, so they should break up, and maybe one of us East Coast or West Coast teams could take one of them. That's what they get. Constant chiding from the outside, trying to get them to break up because they want one of them, just like they want Booker. All right, keep going with this.
Just wait. I wish Broussard wouldn't have, and I love Broussard. I wish Broussard wouldn't have talked over you so much at the end there, Brandon, because we were so close to having a perfect clip for mid-June when the Lakers win the West to go viral of Brandon Marshall saying they'll lose to the Suns, can't beat the Clippers, don't worry about the Jazz, but now it's going to be a little muddled.
And did I
so
mention
when we make our postseason compilations of the Nobody Believes in Us Lakers 2.0, that clip, Broussard might have saved you from being included in there. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Getting salty, coach.
First, it's just It's just, look, I said it from the beginning. I still think the Lakers are going to win the championship because they won it last year. And AD, when healthy, is a top 5, arguably top 3 player in the league. He is that good. There's one ball on the court. And if that dude is better than anybody else, your team can win in basketball. Okay, I get that. I understand it. But to just talk like this and just assume that they're going to win after the terrible moves that they made this year with Gasol and Harrell, etc., to just assume that they're going to be the same team and do what they do is damn near. It's annoying. It's all these things that I can't describe right now, and it's frustrating and it's stupid to even talk like that and to say that when you have watched this team and what they're doing. This is poor ass journalism and proof, just like EJ, Shaq, and Kenny, and whoever else is on that damn show, that they don't watch the damn games. This is proof of that because the Suns and the Jazz are clearly the number 2 team, the 2 best teams in the West. Like clearly, far and away. The Clippers have issues, the Lakers have issues, and to talk like this is disrespectful to the game itself, in my opinion. Screw that. That's trash, and
it's not over. It's not over. Salty, any thoughts before we continue?
Bro, it's typical. It's just kind of like when in the YouTube game, you know what I'm saying? Like people pander to certain audiences or whatever. It's just them pandering to their LA market, dude. You know? Like, don't talk shit about the LA Lakers. Oh, it'll come back to bite you. We're gonna have a clip. We're gonna have a juicy clip from Brandon Marshall looking like a fucking idiot, man. Like what?
Okay. Small market forever. Underdog forever.
America, I'm old enough to remember all the way back 2.5 months ago when the Lakers were the overwhelming favorites. And
in a COVID year in Disney with no home crowd. Keep going.
West is they've become more of a favorite out
west. Oh, with all their big signings and injuries.
More of a favorite, he says. The man from Los Angeles feels the Lakers are now more of a favorite.
The Lakers are getting disrespected here, you guys.
That's why they're all in their feelings about being picked last in the All-Star. Like, damn, this could have been our moment, the All-Star game, because it certainly won't be our moment
this guy?
when we lose in round 2.
This is Nick Wright. He is essentially the heir to Colin Cowherd's throne. I'm gonna be fair here and say I really like Nick Wright. This take today made me feel some other type of way, but normally I like Nick Wright. He not
has
always
the same
right.
birthday as me. I'm looking him up
Does he?
now.
This dude straight up. This dude hates the Bills. Like he was talking so much crap about Bills and like how there's no way they're getting out of the playoffs and all that sort of stuff. Like getting to the Super Bowl. Anyways, he's not that bad. He's not that bad usually, but this was egregious.
In the playoffs. You know who believes in the Suns? Nobody. You know someone believes in the Suns? And I love Chris Paul. Love him. Let's see if Robert Sarver makes a move at the deadline. Let's see if the Suns believe in themselves enough to say, you know what? Hey, DeAndre Ayton might be available for a star right now. Let's see if they try to go all in since they've got a 36-year-old point guard, Devin Booker, a superstar, or if they know they can't win.
Oh, damn. I'll give him props for that one. It's good.
That was facts.
It's a good take at the end, and I mean, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about, dude.
Does anybody know how tall this guy is? This guy looks like he's 5'7".
He does,
and he plays with his 3 kids on the little 6 foot, the little 4 foot basketball hoop, and that's about it for athletic ability.
You're right,
pretty much.
But I mean, like even with you guys saying like we're kind of joking with Charles, like, have you ever played? No, then shut the like. It's okay. Like you don't have to be a baller. You don't have to be
paid for it. He probably knows more than me.
You can know about sports. You can know. Same with you, Charles. Like we're just joking about that, but still, you're right. I mean, definitely looks tiny. He says he stayed wrong. He said Book isn't a superstar yet. We'll both agree he hasn't hit superstar yet, but he's on the path. DA is not even on the path to superstar. DA is on the path in the opposite direction. He's going the opposite direction of star, all-star. Man, so Do you need to trade Ayton to boost the championship aspiration?
That's what we're talking about. That's the main thing with this game, you guys, is if you want a championship, what do you need to do to win a championship? We don't have the team to assemble to be a championship team. So what do we need to do? We need to trade somebody or sign somebody. Well, right now, we don't have any cap room, so we got to trade somebody. Trade for somebody. That's what it comes down to. Hand me my W's. There's nothing else we can talk about here.
It's weird how that conversation. Gabe, did you steer the convo to that, or it just went that way? Because it's weird that you had that all planned.
He's a ninja, man. He's the Ninja Valley podcast host. He knows what he's doing.
Come on. I mean, I've been doing this for how many years now?
2.5 months.
I'm going to be the heir to Nick Wright.
9 weeks.
So when he moves up and takes Cowherd, I'll be slinking into his spot. No, man. I just, it got me thinking, and I heard that today, and I was like, man, we have to either make a video on the side or watch it all together. I figured watching it all together would be fun.
Charles's last one, he's got a point here. If you are desperate to win just one championship, maybe trade for Ayton. I believe Ayton and Booker are capable of winning multiple championships together, and it would be a catastrophic mistake too. So here's the thing. We don't have a championship. I will do anything for one. Yeah. Let's get one under our belt, bro, and then we can move on to the next one.
Exactly. So perfect example is the Raptors. Do you know how much the city of Toronto loves DeMar DeRozan? To this day, they can't wait to get him back, but they shipped his ass out for a chance, a win now chance. And I'll tell you, I can guarantee you there's not a single person that's a Toronto Raptors fan that says they made the wrong move in getting their first title ever. They got rid of their favorite player for their favorite. So this would be like getting rid of Book for someone potentially better than Book. This would be like a Book for Dame, and then we win that year. And you're sitting there going, well, shit, I didn't feel good about letting go of Book, but we won a title. So everything's good now. That's where I'm at. I know Coach and Salty are there. And the reason why I'm there is because Chris Paul is an old man. And he is playing like he's not an old man. And I don't expect that to last for more than 3 more years.
Alvaro had a good point, too. If you can't get a star center, get a star power forward. Would you guys swing a trade for Porzingis? What are your thoughts on him possibly being available? We will never trade for Porzingis. Don't ever bring that in our chat again. We do not like the unicorn. Like, no.
Gabe does.
But you have a point. Trade for a star power forward. Like, obviously, Indiana's not going to trade for Domantas Sabonis when you got Miles Turner, and Sabonis is miles ahead of what Ayton is, right? But getting a power forward, Julius Randle is going to be going into his last year. Ayton's into his last year. Things like that could come around. We don't know about. You cut somebody, you trade somebody else. Salary cap room could be made. Maybe Robert Sarver for the first time ever because he wants to be liked so bad. Robert Sarver wants to be liked by everybody. That's why he's on the plane half naked with DeAndre Ayton's chain right now. Maybe just for once he'll be like, cool, go 20 million over. But win it this year. You never know. That could happen in a wild reality, right? So things can happen. Trade for a front court player. How about that? How about we stop saying center and we say front court? Because we could get a guy like Julius Randle and then next year sign Nerlens Noel to a 1-year deal and boom.
A lot of people in the chat have been bringing up John Collins today.
No,
I just want to say, like, I don't think it works as a replacement. It does not work as a replacement for Ayton. It works as, he's our new power forward, and then you want to slide him with Ayton. That's the only thing I don't like about that situation.
And you want to trade Ayton while he has value too. You don't want him just to get worse or exposed.
Iverson with the hot take. Read that, Coach.
I really don't know if Ayton will be in a Suns jersey by end of March or beginning of next season. If I put money on it, I don't think he would be there at the beginning of next season.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he survives to play next season, dude, honestly.
Can we call it a break on the Ayton talk for the night? Because I think we've gone 40 to 45 straight minutes on trades for Ayton.
I could go 40 to 45 straight more minutes talking about Ayton. But Charles stepped in a landmine. This dude just said that he would never trade Booker for Dame, and he forgot that there's Portland fans in the chat.
Oh, let's go. What's going on in there?
Get him.
For real.
I mean, Dame is a perennial superstar, and Book is an all-star.
The Ayton podcast. We do need an alternate logo.
Jesus. But I want to talk about the game, how it shaped out, what it turned into, just how everything just kind of shook out tonight. Is this a one-off? Like, Salty, do you think tonight is tonight a one-off, or is tonight more indicative of what we are? You and I talk a lot about being a fourth quarter team, how that's good, but then you also set yourself up as a trap. Just give me your thoughts on all those things that I just put out. I don't really have a question, but just let's talk about the game.
You're like, I don't really have a question.
I have no damn idea what I'm talking about now.
Nah, so is this a one-off thing? Yes, it is, man.
Okay.
We're playing the Pacers. They're better than the record shows. I've said that before. So a loss to the Pacers, I'm not stressing that, dude, by any means, because I think when it's all said and done, I think they're going to be in the playoff picture in the East. I think they're a good team that made a move for LeVert, and then some shit went down with his cancer stuff, you know. So like if they had LeVert from the jump when they're whatever standing they were in the beginning, like where would they be at right now record wise, you know? So I think they're a good team. I just think that it was a team effort. Like I said, team effort to lose. It wasn't DeAndre Ayton that lost us this game. That's what people were putting out there on Twitter. It's like, you know, all these haters, they put the loss, they blame the loss on Ayton when it's everybody else's fault. And it's like, yeah, it's a team. Duh, it's a whole team, right? And I'm not putting the loss on Ayton at all, dude. There's people that take more blame. I think Devin Booker had a bad game, obviously. But he gets a little bit more leeway when he's a perennial all-star and he's carrying your team. And CP3 did not have a good
game-winning
game.
shots.
Mm-hmm. Crowder didn't have a good game. Go look at his stats. Frank Kaminsky is a ghost. I don't think he should be in the starting lineup anymore. Campaign was Master Splinter out there just kind of doing his thing, but not really. The second unit was horrible. That 13-0 stint they gave up was just setting us up to lose the game, because we had momentum up to that point. Our starters were doing good. We had the lead. We were going back and forth with Pacers. All of a sudden our second unit comes up, and it's just like the floodgates open up. Monty calls a timeout, brings in the starters, and it's just all after that we just could not get it back, you know. So,
Salty, answer this question from Sun's GOAT, please.
Okay, what's up?
Time to take Frank out of the starting lineup?
Oh, we haven't even gotten there. Let's go, Salty. Let's go.
Bro, it's not.
And
even
here we go.
It's not even a question. He served his purpose, because I did watch Suns Geek's video on grading players, and I think he gave Kaminsky an A+, and I still think that that's valid, right? I think for what his service was, like, he did his job. Like, he did what he was supposed to.
He was the next man up.
It's just like, come on, we got what we needed out of this dude, right? We picked him up off of waivers. Like, we got more than we were expecting from this dude. Like, at this point, we're playing on house money. I said this from the beginning. You ride this dude until you start losing games. We have lost games with him in the starting lineup. So it's just at this point, everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows this dude shouldn't be in the starting lineup. Like, come on. Like, fix your starting lineup, get Crowder in there, start kind of setting your lineups for the playoffs or whatever, because the second half should be for that. Like, figure out who your starting lineup in your rotations are going to be. Is Kaminsky going to be in there? I don't know, man. Like, if we pick up some player on waivers or whatever, then maybe he's just going to be that backup, but he served his purpose this year. And that's all I got to say about that. You know,
I think you're right. Suns Geek agrees, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, next man up, and it was a critical stretch for us to becoming a good team. We lose 3 or 4 of those other games, we're still in the 5-6 seed and still trying to get to be a playoff team and claim that, with him and having some really good games. Like he crawled us up and he really helped us. I firmly believe if he still played 13 minutes, but came in at the end of the first and the second quarter, maybe, or something like that, he could still be an 8 to 10 point player. If Frank Kaminsky played against second unit players, I think he could be a great option.
Yeah, he might look a little better.
I went a little haywire there, but does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
So Frank Kaminsky doing that, there's no reason why he can't. He could be that sniper coming off the bench, and all of a sudden he's hitting 2 threes to start off the second quarter. He can do things like that.
No, he can still play. Yeah.
Yeah. With the starters though, I want Dario Saric in there. I really do. I want Dario Saric to be there, but we don't have anybody else coming off the bench that would be big. Dario has to do that, man, because if Ayton goes out with 2 quick fouls, all of a sudden Saric has to play the whole first quarter and then into the second quarter, so he's got to play 15 minutes straight because we have no other option. Like, that doesn't work. He's our only legitimate big man that's going to come in, bang with the big boys down low, get those rebounds and make those passes and do everything that he does. So he has to come off the bench. I want him to be there, which is why I want to go sign a LaMarcus Aldridge or something like that, because I think that gives us the flexibility to have Saric in the starting lineup, which is our best lineup. Our best lineup is Chris Paul, Book, Mikal, Saric, and Ayton. Nobody is going to disagree, except maybe when you don't have a center, you have to put Crowder in there at the 4 or, matchup wise. I'm not wrong about that. We need another backup, but for right now, Crowder's got to be that extra starter in there. I'll mute myself. I went on a rant.
No. Gary's agreeing with you. I think I agree with you. I love the flexibility of having Saric at the bench, but he's so good, it almost doesn't really make sense not to start the game with him. And yeah, Salt, Frank has definitely served his purpose. It was fun while it lasted. Sure. Everyone enjoyed the joke, but it's kind of over now for the simple fact that it's just not going anywhere. You at least need to go away from it. Kind of like Fitzmagic, right? We're always going into football.
Damn.
But Fitzmagic comes in and it's like, who is this guy throwing for 450 yards a game and 3 touchdowns a game? And it's like, oh, shit, who is this guy getting sacked 8 times and throwing 4 interceptions? The same guy. Like, it's just time. Go away from it. Maybe he recaptures that Frank magic and we can revisit it when it's time. It's just a plus to have a guy like him on the bench. Period, who you can turn to and maybe actually get something,
I miss Cam Johnson.
Yeah, we needed him tonight. His that's what I was trying to say last night, and Salty was like, "Yo, I didn't even notice. I didn't even care."
Bro, I didn't notice. It's not that I know.
I know.
Don't.
It was that game. It was that game, and just the way it flowed that game. And we get up for Western Conference games. It's just he's all hustle, man, and he's a 3-point sniper.
I got something to say.
What's
Bridges' Law was in effect tonight.
What's that?
Bridges' Law states that the Suns don't lose when Mikal Bridges hits his first 3. He missed his first 3, and we lost. So that's weird, because I didn't think it was going to matter. As soon as he – you didn't know that?
I didn't know about this Bridges Law.
Wait, I'm
Fake fan alert.
I was typing to Michael Logan on Facebook. Sorry, can you say that again? Bridges Law? I'm so sorry.
Bridges Law, apparently, and I just learned this tonight. I'm giving you guys a hard time for not knowing it, trying to make it seem like I'm smart. Bridges Law is apparently we have an insane ratio of winning to losing when Mikal hits his first 3. It's like the biggest bellwether sign.
He's, I would say, above any other player, even because Saric is so dependable. I would say Mikal Bridges is our biggest X factor when it comes to defense and shot making. I mean, if that dude can hit 3 to 4 threes and then drive into the lane and look like Kevin Durant, he's just our biggest X factor. So I believe that in a sense that you hit your first shot, all of a sudden you're in rhythm, right? How many times have you gone to play, or you guys have gone to play, you hit your first shot, you're like, ooh, all right, here we go. right?
Yeah.
It's just, and he's still 24. He's a young guy too.
I think so. Somebody was saying, who is it saying we go as Frank goes? Gabe Martinez says Suns go as Frank goes. I think we go as Bridges goes.
Oh, Gabe's pulling our chain. I mean, he would trade Ayton for Jake Voskuhl right now in his 40s.
Is that a human being? Who is that?
Jake Vosh.
What?
Who is that?
What?
He's an old Suns player, dude.
Bro, mute yourself right now.
Hey,
No,
boys allowed. You said
mute
Sasha
yourself.
Vujacic. You said Sasha
that.
Vujacic.
That's
was
fine. This
before.
isn't that's an ex-Suns player.
I'll,
Hit it.
I'll mute myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want me to hit it?
Yes, absolutely.
Why you always lying?
The man
Bro, you
didn't
don't know Jake Voskuhl was on the team, the 04-05 Suns that got 62 and 20. What are you talking about? You don't know some Jake Voskuhl.
That was 4 years before I became a Suns fan.
Yeah,
that's
Number
really
43.
obscure.
I know his number.
Man, we'll have to pull up some highlights of him later.
Nerd.
Everybody feel free to get Gabe on that one.
I bet
Just
no
not
one
know
in
Jake
this
Voskuhl.
group knew who that was.
Nate, you knew, right?
Yes.
See, that's all that matters.
Nate's a liar, though. You can never trust things Nate says.
We watched games together at that point and hated everything that Leandro Barbosa did. So
Yep.
You guys
Jake
are
from
crazy.
Jake from State Farm.
Right? Would you trade Jake from State Farm for Ayton? Next question.
Yes. Save me 15%, bitch.
Mhm.
So let's take a look at the standings. Still number 2.
Yeah, let's get into NBA scores, man. It's been a while since we've been on here, you guys. We were on here like for 40 minutes, and then we jumped over to the Blazers podcast. We couldn't do it before the All-Star break, the game against the Warriors. We just had some things kind of come up within the trifecta Valley Boys Valley podcast co-hosts. So we're back here now, and a lot of things have kind of gone down in the NBA. I mean, we didn't even talk about any of our dudes getting to the All-Star game, really. We shouted it out real quick. Shout out to CP3 for getting into the skills competition. It was a real bummer not seeing Book to be able to compete. I felt like if Book could have gone to the All-Star game and played, he was about to drop 20. So that's a bummer. But going into tonight now, just scores while Gabe has the Western Conference standings up. Earlier in the day, the Knicks beat the Thunder 119-97, and future Phoenix Sun Julius Randle had 26, 12, and 12.
This thing just say future Phoenix Sun.
And then, and check this out, just to prove that anything could happen, the Nets beat the Pistons by 5 points, 100-95. James Harden had 24, 10, and 10. So, like, anything can happen. And who is the Pistons' top performer? Mason Plumlee with 11, 9, and 6. So that proves that just because DA had a decent stat line doesn't mean much. Like, weird things happen. Hornets over the Raptors tonight, 114-104. The Hornets above 500 now. I think they're 5th or 6th in the East, which is,
look at these Raptors.
they're just free falling right now. Poor Kyle Lowry.
Bro,
But
during
LaMelo
this-
Ball with 23, 9, and 6 tonight. What's up?
On the stream I was watching, there's like a chat. So I'm watching the Suns game, and then there's like this chat off to the right of it. And there was this dude chatting constantly, and his screen name was Raptors Suicide Hotline.
Oh shit.
I was like, yeah, is it that bad for the Raptors? And I guess so.
What are we? Bucks and Wizards. Bucks take care of business against the Wiz. 33-11-11 for Giannis. Russell Westbrook. Here we go. If we're talking about an empty stats man, Russell Westbrook, 42 points, 10 boards, and 12 assists, and an L. So, but he just doesn't have a good enough team, right? That's the excuse we'll make for him.
42, 12, and 10. Lord,
Yeah,
he took
man.
32 shots.
Yeah,
Jesus.
bro. But whatever.
Alex
Hawks.
Len with the big 10 points. Kidding.
Shut up,
Go
Gabe.
ahead. Go ahead.
Hawks over the Kings 121-106. Clint Capella with 24 and 14. The Blazers, who are pretty close to us, so about 3 games back in the playoffs from us, beat the T-Wolves 125-121. It did take a little bit of an effort for them, but Melo had 26 points. And the Mavericks 116 to 103 over the Nuggets. That was probably the key game in the Western Conference tonight, was the Mavericks and Nuggets. So where does that leave us in the standings, Gabe? Let's pull that up in the Western Conference. Por favor. There we go. Jazz and Suns 1-2, but we're only a half game ahead of the Lakers. We play them next Friday or Saturday or something. And then the Clippers are a game back. The Blazers are 3 games back. And then you got the Nuggets, Spurs, and Mavericks all jumbled up in there. And a game and a half out, Golden State and Memphis. We play them next. I think the Memphis game is important. We've beaten them. We've proven we can beat them, but it's important because we need to push those teams out as much as possible, because your first goal is to just solidify a playoff spot.
Hey,
right?
looky. Who is it that I mean, obviously it's not like it's going to necessarily end this way, but this is who I predicted and also wanted to have for the first round. We'd be playing the Spurs if it was the playoff time right now. And don't kid yourself, we're going to be in the playoffs. So we can talk about that. As of right now, it would be the Spurs. Can you imagine that first round? We're going to win. That would bring up.
I'm not even going to say we're going to win, because I'm just focused on Memphis and getting the best seed possible and doing what we can, because we're going to have to play a really damn good team in the second round no matter who we play. It doesn't matter. Right?
Yep.
Focus on Memphis, man. Knock everybody that's out of the playoffs that we have to play. Let's
How
knock
scared
them back
of Ja Morant are you exactly?
Ja Morant's that dude.
I really like Ja Morant, man. He's up there with Zion Williamson in terms of my favorite players out there, like younger players.
Yeah.
He's really good, man.
So
I love Ja.
Gary, stop being pessimistic just because you're mad that you guys aren't your normal top 1-2 seed. He's saying that the Spurs won't be in the playoffs. He's just salty because they're not super high. You're going to be there. No one thinks you're not going to be there.
He thinks they're tanking or what?
He thinks they're in a rebuild. He's been saying he's in a rebuild.
I think they're in a rebuild too, because I don't know. Why would you just give up on what's his name?
Because here's why. I've been doing a lot of research, unlike you two who do no research and prep zero for this show.
Pretty much.
So I'm just kidding. So what
an ass.
I'm just insulting. It's all good. So what I've heard is that Aldridge came to the Spurs like a week or so ago and said, I'm out, trade me. This isn't a situation where the Spurs are like, this Aldridge guy, he's a bum. You need to get him off the team. It's not that. So he was lured to the Spurs away from us. And what Pop wanted to do with him, from what I understand, is he wanted him to be Tim Duncan's successor. And he wants him to take over and play the way Duncan plays. Well, guess what? Aldridge doesn't play the way Duncan plays. Aldridge was much more of like a Jokic, who you run your offense through, and he takes the ball into the post. He looks around and makes good decisions for you, like a bigger Saric, and he passes out of the post and helps the offense continue to go. Apparently, you throw it into Aldridge, and he's really eager to hit a fadeaway. He's really eager to turn around and hit a turnaround jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that has not been working. So if you guys remember, in that first season I believe it was the first season that they had Aldridge, there were rumblings, and he wanted out, and he asked for a trade. And Popovich, I don't know what Popovich did behind closed doors to convince him to stay, but he got him to stay. So there have been rumblings. It was not a perfect marriage. He made the wrong decision going to San Antonio, and I think Pop has finally realized, you know what, this mother effer ain't gonna play like Duncan. He's not gonna play like the way I want him to play.
Man. It just happens.
Exactly, but I'm saying that's a good thing. We're not getting Aldridge. Yeah. If we get Aldridge, we're not getting him because he's washed up. We're getting him because he's a non-fit.
I mean, he just should have stayed in Portland to begin with, or come to Phoenix. Those were better options than going to
Absolutely. I don't know why he ever had to leave. Yeah, he should have stayed with Dame. Shervin says he should have stayed with Dame. He should have.
But we wouldn't have won a championship with him anyways, and he'd be 35 on his way out. Where would we be now? So, I mean, it is what it is. But in this situation now, he could be a great asset. He could be great. So we need somebody to push DA. That'd be ideal.
Does Portland have money to give him like a little bit of extra?
On the
That's a good
buyout,
question.
maybe.
Because we don't. I think where are we at with cash? We don't have any, right?
We have like -6 mil.
Yeah, and they're
But
saying
you
that
can, but you can do like the veterans minimum, or there's things that you can do to sign him for like the rest of the year.
Well, for sure, but like if it's a difference between going back to Portland or us, and they can give him a little bit more money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
good point. He says if Kawhi would have stayed, Aldridge would have at least one ring by now. Yeah, that Raptors ring would have probably have gone the Spurs
Maybe.
way. You know,
Maybe, yeah. Never know.
Maybe.
that was the year that Bron got hurt.
But Kawhi has proven to be a head case of sorts, especially with all the rumors of him coming out last year and not wanting to go to practice and flying from San Diego for games last minute, all those weird things.
Yeah,
So maybe
who would've
him and
thought-
LaMarcus would have been terrible together.
Who would have thought he would have been such a prima donna? He didn't come off that way.
Seriously, forced his way out of San Antonio, won a championship, and I bet you he didn't even give Toronto another look.
Nope.
Like I don't know. I just don't respect that. I respect wanting to go home because you grew up in San Diego, but just the way that they've gone about it's like LeBron's thing, man. I don't know. I don't make millions though, so who the hell am I? I'm doing this podcast
Right.
for free, and if you want to make a donation, we can talk about that.
Oh shit.
So
I am out
we-
of drink.
We really did barely talk about the game, so let's get to that a little bit if you don't mind. I want to say like that was a swipey team, right? Like that's one thing that I noticed from them more than anything is how much they were swiping at the ball. They were playing with a defensive like fervor, like they were half court pressing. Did you notice that, Salt?
Yeah,
It's what they do.
how many turnovers do we have? A lot.
So
my
many.
God, the turnovers tonight.
So yeah, they had their hands on the balls. Pause.
But we talked about that. They weren't ready. This is what the Pacers do. This is what they play. I'm sure Monty had a game plan and everything. It's just they just didn't come out and play tonight. It just wasn't there, you know. And they didn't give up. They kept going throughout the whole game. Move on. Go to the next one.
Hmm.
Michael says no room to shoot all night. I agree.
Yep.
That's what she said.
They were
No space.
they were suffocating, dude. They were totally suffocating. And Roy saying we underestimated the Pacers.
Yeah.
We fully underestimated, man. No question.
We came off a big win at Portland, who was right under us. Right? This is the
Yeah.
Suns team that we've seen before. If we played the Lakers tonight, we would have seen a way different effort, right?
Totally.
Well, when's the last time the Suns went on a losing streak of note?
Not really having many losing streaks.
That
That's
was
what
the
I'm saying.
Detroit, Washington debacle.
That was the worst. That was the worst stretch of the year, right there.
8 and
dude.
8. 8 and
Yeah.
8.
When we hit 8 and 8, I was getting flashbacks from the Cardinals season, dude. We won't get into that, but we're like, there's memes going around for like Phoenix Sports. So like, your team starts off hot and then finishes a disappointing 8 and 8, and both of the teams were
Okay.
around
17 and
Bruh.
4 in the last 21 games since then. 17 and 4.
Hear me out here. We have not had a losing streak all year. And let me explain why.
We had 3.
I'm-
That's it.
That's not a
Yeah,
losing.
you're
that's not
right.
a losing
We
streak.
won that game.
This is the game I
And the
believe.
game before we won.
These are the two games that were. So I think it was the second one. Let's take a look. I think the second one is the one where.
That's the Jamal.
Is this the one where Jamal Murray did the 5 foot, the
Yeah.
5-step
Yes,
back?
yes, to go into overtime. And the game before is the Devin Booker. We're up by 5, and Devin Booker does this thing, and he doesn't even touch Gary Harris. We were about to go up 7
Here
and
it
1.
is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we won those 2 games, so whatever.
So as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a losing streak all season.
Stop
but
this. Let's not play it. Stop it.
it should be fine. It's just a highlight.
Stop it.
Nah, just turn it off.
No, just turn it off. We've gotten pulled so many times for stupid things like this.
Yeah, it's not worth
It's
it.
true. But needless to say, he traveled the hell out of it, and the refs called it only the next day. They're like, "Oh, by the way, we helped them win. That was disgusting.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is they haven't gone on losing streaks. So you don't need to worry about any of this until you like something out of the ordinary. So if they come out and smack their next opponents, then you're back to status quo. You know, you're doing.
There's
your
no
thing.
characteristics to say we're gonna keep losing.
Mm-hmm.
The Valley We Get Sidetracked podcast. Ain't that the truth?
The Valley We Don't Talk About the Games post-game podcast.
The Valley we talk to the fans and have the fans steer us to where we're gonna go. Podcast.
What's the point of talking about this game more than the fact that it is what
I'm
it
just
is?
kidding.
You know, yeah.
It's funny. They brought it up.
I know. I don't feel bad. about it because I mean, you guys' Cardinals coach is getting called out. Cardinals have a fraud coach, Kingsbury. Where is this coming from?
Hey, we hate our coach just like the Portland guys hate their coach, man.
He's trash.
Our coach is garbage.
He's a college coach that can't even get the 500.
He's an
Patrick Mahomes, but we ain't going
He's like an 8-8 coach in college. He's
on a good year.
On a good year, and then less than that. Yeah.
6 and 6, bro. That's in college. 6 and 6.
Gabe and Sons Geek in here talking about a GoFundMe and subscriptions. Man, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate it so much. You don't even know. Like, the only reason, as far as I'm concerned, we haven't done anything like subscriptions or stuff like that is just we're just starting off. We're small. I felt like, who are we to come out and be like, pay us? Like, we're not ready for that, right? I mean, like, maybe once we get
Gabe, you said you're going to make that announcement about the GoFundMe for your micro penis surgery, though, right? I mean, I wasn't supposed to let that
important.
out. I wasn't supposed to. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to talk about that.
I came into
the Valley podcast needs an OnlyFans.
Now that I came into the micro penis surgery organically, so I don't need help with that anymore.
Okay.
But it is still small, and that's a problem. Okay. So, but
one day,
your lap dances are going to get us through. That's what's going to get us the subscriptions.
The OnlyFans.
They'll never see your face, Salty.
No.
Gabe Martinez had a good point.
They will see your ass cheeks clapping for the rest of their lives.
Gabe Martinez found a Valley podcast link on Pornhub.
Oh, what?
It's probably parody porn of us by now.
Yeah.
Man, no, we do this because we're passionate. And that's what it comes down to. We're passionate.
Everybody in this chat, you can tell they are too, man. You can tell all you guys love the Suns.
The more people come on this, the more we love it. Yeah, that's what she said.
Make sure you guys join the Discord. I don't have it up, but yeah. We have a Discord.
Yeah, can you put the link there for that? So Burner wants a pic of me without the hat on. Well, I would, I want to show you the Gabe Von Carter fit, right? But I haven't shaved my head in like a few days, so it's looking kind of ridiculous, man. Like I'll show you the shaved head, but it's got to be like freshly Jason Stathamed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get Salty too horny, so I'll move on. I know you.
Don't you have a Kelly Oubre like size doll that you sleep with?
Oh yeah.
One of those Kelly Oubre. What are those?
He's very handsome, but
full size anime.
He sleeps nude in his Kelly Oubre jersey at night,
draped around that Kelly Oubre.
He's like, one day we'll be together. You'll return.
Dude, I'm done with Kelly unless
Kelly's gonna come back his final year of his career like Dan Marley did.
That'd be
dope. I don't even think about Oubre. I don't even. Who's that guy? Who's Oubre? I don't remember.
Don't need him.
Who that dude is.
Don't need him. Just like I had very big fears about getting rid of TJ Warren. I was really upset about it. Coach, I never talked to you about that because we weren't really like talking that much back then. So how did you feel when we let TJ go considering that was the year that he super found his three?
So me and Salty always talked, and I always thought that TJ Warren was the type of dude that could be made for the playoffs. He can just go get you these random, really weird buckets and score 20 to 28 on you. Always thought he'd be a good piece to a championship team, but dude never stayed healthy for us.
Dude.
Every year with his career, he's playing 40 games, 50 games, 31 games, like he just random numbers, and he wasn't doing anything. We were losing. We never won more than 25 games, and we have 25 wins now. So
Facts.
whatever.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's why
I didn't care
that's
about
why
anybody
when-
we lost during that time.
Because that's what Gabe, you were a big TJ Warren fan too. Like
I was.
so
Especially once he found his 3. When he found his 3, I was like, "How, dude? How?" Because that's the thing that you always want. What do we want from Josh Jackson? If this dude could find his jumper, he'd actually be Archie Goodwin. Archie Goodwin ring a bell to anybody? If Archie had a jumper of any sort, he'd still be in the NBA. And so no one ever does it, is my point. No one ever really develops a jumper. Hey, shout out Lonzo Ball. He's killing it. His jumper has completely changed. So it's very rare to see a player come in with no jumper, but everything else.
Mhm.
Not the TJ.
Hence
Go
the
ahead.
reason why James Jones went for players that actually could shoot, So
But he could
It's-
shoot towards the end. He has a 3.
no,
now.
his mid range when he came out of college was
Deadly.
He was a scorer. That's what they drafted him for. But one of the reasons why I was like, okay, letting him go was number one, he was hurt all the time. He just there's certain players that they have that glass bitch syndrome, and they're just always
You're right.
hurt. And he was stacked up as that dude, and he's out for like the whole season this year with the Pacers.
He's
So no
like
matter
a small forward Greg Oden.
it's just like
Always hurt.
no matter how good he is and how much potential he had, because he killed it last year, right? He was in the conversation in the bubble and shit. Like they're like, oh my God, how did the Suns let this guy go? And then all of a sudden he's out again for the whole season. And it's just like, dude, you cannot count on this guy to stay healthy. So it's like, I don't know. He's good. Yes, he's good. But like at the same time, when is he going to get injured for half the season or the full season? Like this
I
year,
don't
like
know,
the
man.
Pacers, how good would the Pacers be if the dude was on their team this year?
I mean, a lot of dudes, when you're in an organization for 4 or 5 years and you know nothing but losing like we did,
Mhm.
mentally, I can't expect much from you either. Like, I'd be pissed too. I'd be like, screw this team. I would have done what Eric Bledsoe did. Eric Bledsoe thought way more of himself than what he really is, and that's a different topic for another day.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. We were garbage for so long. I'm not even thinking about TJ Warren, who's also out for the rest of the year.
I don't miss TJ Warren. Even
I
when
don't
he was
miss
killing
anybody.
it, when he was killing it, I didn't think twice about
Well,
like,
of course,
damn,
we
let
don't
go.
worry about it now, and we don't worry about because McHale and Cam Johnson have made everything okay.
Mhm.
So I want you to take this question, Coach, from burner account, and Suns Geek says he would, no cap. Question is, would you trade for Lonzo?
I would. Oh, that's for Evan. All right, hit it up.
Don't answer, Salt. Just kidding.
You're like, mute this dude.
The thing I question about that is Lonzo primed to be a starter? Because he wouldn't be a starter for us, I don't believe. So can he accept a role on a bench? And then if he's good enough in 2 years, can he take the reins?
That's what it
for
would
Chris
be.
Paul.
Mhm.
And is he good enough? He's transformed his game. He's an excellent 3-point shooter now, randomly, which is good to see. He could be a really, really, really good Sean Livingston off the bench, just like the Warriors had. He would be an incredible guy off the bench if he can accept that role. If he can accept that role, dude, I would be game for that. How sick would that be? No more campaign, Javon Carter, Galloway. It doesn't matter who the rest of your backcourt is. You can get rid of any other backcourt player if you had Alonzo Ball coming off the bench, man. That'd be sick. I mean, that's Sean Livingston with a shot. Like, how crucial was he for the Warriors in their playoff runs? He was so big for that team. Lonzo would be even bigger, but I just don't know if he would accept that role. And I don't know what you'd be willing to give up for him. I'd give up Cam Johnson for him for sure. because he's a playmaker who can make other guys better. So you can bring in almost anybody and make him better with a playmaker off the bench, right? I'd give up Sticks for sure. I'd give up Sticks for him.
Yeah, I mean, apparently Sticks doesn't even play for the Suns anymore. So I guess you'd have to.
Campaign, Javon Carter, throw those. I would for sure do that. But I also don't want the Ball family, whatever
they haven't really been doing what Gabe said they would be doing. Like I don't hear from LeVar Ball anymore. Like that guy's like disappeared.
Can I take it from here? Because that's where I was gonna go.
Please.
Okay, so nobody has been more keep Ball away from my Phoenix Suns than me, right?
Yeah.
So from the beginning, when it was a chance that we were gonna draft him, I probably really did get on my knees at some point and pray to God that we didn't that we wouldn't draft him. And and I loved his game way more then than I do now, although I am turning around on it because his game is truly getting better, and I'm not going to deny that. But I didn't want LeVar anywhere near our team because with the makeup of our owner and the way we're a losing franchise and the way we didn't have a coach who was really a leader, we had who do we have at the time? I think it might have been it wasn't Hornacek, it wasn't Watson. I think it might have been Kokoskov. Dude, I did not want him anywhere near our franchise because the first it would have just been things like, you know, this is Lonzo's team. This ain't Booker's team. And then everybody would have been like, this mother, you know? It would the same kind of stuff he was pulling. Lonzo's already better than Booker. Lonzo needs somebody who can play real. Lonzo's already better than Jordan. It's like, okay, bro. Lonzo's already better than Steve Nash. But like something weird has happened, and you don't hear from LeVar anymore.
No, you don't hear shit.
Something even weirder has happened. Lonzo's hitting jumpers. He's hit more threes this year than Booker. That's not a joke, folks.
No, yeah, it's true.
And his percentages are higher. So if it seems real. It seems like he must have told his dad, please chill. Big Baller Brand is dead. If you don't want to be dead to me, stay out of my life, please. Something like that, because he's not micromanaging LaMelo's career.
Nope.
So I would say, if there was some way to get him in and have him be the successor, I don't know how I just can't believe I'm saying this, but I would.
This is the last year of his deal. He's due $11 million. He's a free agent next year. I don't know if I'd make that move. I wouldn't give up anybody on our team for a half a year for Lonzo.
I would trade DeAndre Ayton for Ball, dude.
Woo!
Maybe we'd have to have a move for somebody else coming in.
Isn't that the same?
I gotta write that down.
Another big man. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna timestamp.
I mean, we have big
in my life when you said that.
Steven Adams and Lonzo Ball for basically DA and our whole bench.
Dude, Steven Adams is another one I would really.
Steven Adams is a free agent next year too. I would trade Ayton for the best you can get, and I would trade Steven Adams.
Remember Steven Adams and Chris Paul in the pick and roll?
Yeah, I love Steven Adams.
Steven Adams sets some of the best picks ever. Imagine Booker coming off of a dude that could set that screen. I would trade DeAndre Ayton for cap space to get Steven Adams next year, and then we could get another player for that cap space too. We could get 2 players next year.
I hope Ayton's world isn't watching because he just keeled over. He's probably 18 years old. That
16-year-old has some living to do. Let me tell you.
Yeah, Suns Geek says Lonzo got that BBB tattoo removed. I know that. Andy left them shoes
that broke his ankles. that are made
dude, you made Suns Geek roll his face on the keyboard. Hot take from Salty. He would trade Lonzo straight up for Ayton. Man.
On that note, man, I don't know this late into the night that we can cap that. I think that's the cherry on top.
I think DA that just for Lonzo Ball. Where
Salty just shut down our podcast with that one.
That's it.
That's where I feel Ayton is, man.
And
that's
I got
where
work to do. So
yeah.
You've lost the respect you had from Charles. It's gone. Kiss that shit goodbye.
God damn.
Kiss it goodbye. I don't know how you're going to sleep tonight.
Peyton should remove the dominating tattoo, man. Yeah,
that'd be tough. That thing's huge. But hey, he should.
Good luck, man. All right, y'all. That was fun tonight. We appreciate all of you guys that were in the chat, man. You guys made it fun. Shout out to Blazers Uprising. Shout out to Suns Geek. Shout out to all the Portland fans that came over too.
Burner said, "Oh,
Salty.
I thought he said Ayton should retire."
Oh, no, Salty
should retire.
All right, I'll retire after tonight's show. I'm out.
Later, man.
Thank you, Geek, for being here, bro. You always make the show better. We're gonna be doing something with Geek soon. Hey, Blazers guys, I know you're not that into the Suns, but if you like us, man, wait till you see Suns Geek. Dude, his stuff is hot to death. He's got way more videos than us.
Put the links in the chat.
Yeah, we'll we always boost out his stuff because I mean we're just fanboys, man. We enjoy watching it. But we are going to be with Suns Geek at some point this week, I believe. So we're just waiting on that. We can't wait. But yeah, everyone, Roy, Shervin, Burner, as always, Gabe, a day one, Roy, a day one, Iverson, day one.
Charles, shout out.
Gary, day one.
We don't miss you, Kiz.
What Kiz? I don't know what Kiz is doing. Brian Scalabrini, you're already making these podcasts better just by being here, man. We appreciate
He's
you.
hanging out with Aiden's world. That's
he's probably over there. Let's see who else. I don't want to forget anybody, but
did we say what's up to Iverson blogs yet?
Iverson, Iverson.
Yeah.
Michael Logan.
Absolutely. Big
everybody,
on Facebook
man.
Over there. Thank you. Remember, guys, all that matters is Monday's game against Memphis. Win that game. We're back to status quo, and we'll move on from there. No, we do not have an OnlyFans yet. But Geek does make a lot of videos, so stay tuned. Man, good show. You guys can find us on Twitter. I'm at Coach Evan B on Twitter. We do a lot of stuff on Twitter, so hit us up there. At Saltiest AZ fan is Salty down below, as always, as he is. He's on Twitter too. And Gabe runs the at Suns Valley podcast, everything on Twitter and Facebook. So thank you, Gabe, for all you do. We're going to be back here. We have another 8 o'clock game local time for Phoenix on Monday against Memphis. I believe it's at home. Let me double check. It's at home against Memphis. Ja Morant. It's going to be a really good game. We need to go get that W. Final thoughts, Salty?
Thanks for being here for my retirement episode, dude. It's been fun.
Man. Just once again, man, thank you guys. We are closing in on 100 subscribers. 98. If you guys have forgot, oh man, 98, it's beautiful. 98. If you guys have somehow forgotten to, but also, man, if you guys don't mind when it's over, if you could leave us a comment in the afterward comments, like this is so dope getting all these comments in our live stream, but it really helps us in the algorithm if you guys say something after the video.
And the likes.
Yeah, the likes, of course. What's our highest liked video? Is it 20?
It was 20 live, yeah, before we went
20.
off.
So if we get more than that, it'd be great. But we appreciate you guys as always. We will see you guys Monday.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Throw up the X, PHX.